Hello there, today I'm going to show you how to make this simple Lolita skirt. It's just a very gathered skirt with a small frill. So if you want to know how to make it, just keep on watching. For the Lolita skirt, I'm going to use a white cotton fabric. The fabric I have is a 60-inch wide on the roll, so it's not going to be very practical to show you with this as such, because it's going to be just a white blur of white fabric. So for certain things, I'm going to show you on a piece of toilet paper. It's going to be easier. Alright, it's time to take a few measurements. So first of all, we need your waist. Myself is 27 inches or 69 centimeters. To that we need to add a bit of easing because we want to breathe. So 1 inch would be more than enough, or 2.5 centimeters. Next step, it's your waist to knee measurements, and that's going to be the finished length of your skirt. So for myself it's a 24 inches or 61 centimeters. Next step is to decide what width you want your frill to be. So I went for quite a small one, 2.5 inches or 6.5 centimeters. To that you need to decide on how big you want your frill, so it will depend on if you want it very gathered or not. I didn't want mine too gathered, so I use 4.5 meter of it. And for the skirt, you need to deduce the frill measurements from the waist to knee measurements, and that gives you 21.5 inches or 54.5 centimeters. I'll put all the steps on all the measurements on the description box below. For the skirt, I'm using 3 meters of fabric for the width, but anything between 2 and 3 meter would be enough. That will depend on the weight of your fabric as well. So you will also need to add some seam allowance for the skirt and for the frill as well. For the frill you need to add a bit more on the bottom for the hem. I did put a 1 inch hem and it was a bit too much, so something a bit smaller would be fine, otherwise 1 inch if you're happy with this. Alright, moving on to the waistband pattern. So on a piece of paper you're going to trace a straight line. I'm putting it on the fold because it's going to be half of the waistband on it, but you can make a full one if you want. So I'm going to trace from that line a perpendicular line, and that's going to be half of my waist measurements plus half of the easing, which is half an inch or 1.25 centimeters. So that's going to be the length of it. It's going to be put on the fold on your fabric, or full if you put the full one. Then for the width, I want it to be 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches. So, but I'm going to double that because it's going to be folded on itself. So it's going to be 8 centimeters on width or 3 inches. And that's going to give you a rectangle. To that you need to add seam allowance all around except for the fold line. So you're going to add 1 centimeters all around or 5/8 of an inch all around. And that's your waistband pattern. In the next video I'll show you how to make a button stand. I didn't put any, so you can or put your zipper all the way up or put a hook and eyes for the closure. So now you have your panel cut for your skirt. Depending on how wide your fabric is, you might have 2 panels, 3 panels, or whatever panels, how many panels you want. Because I'm using a light cotton fabric, I'm using 3 meters of fabric. But you can use anything between 2 and 3 meters. If your fabric is a bit too heavy, don't use 3 meters. The bulk is going to be very, well, bulky. So I have 2 panels there that are going to be sewn together, right sides facing each other, and that's the selvage, and that's going to be your waistline that is going to be gathered. On your side seam you will put a zip if you want to put your zip on the side, but because I don't like it on the side, I'm going to put it on the back, which means I will have to cut one of my panels. Because if I leave it like this, what's going to happen is that's going to be one of my back panel with the zipper, which means I'm going to have a seam running right on the center front, which is not going to be aesthetically pleasing. So what I'm going to do is take whatever back panel is my back panel, that doesn't really matter because it's white. I'm going to cut it right on the center, of course on the straight line. It's not going to be really straight there, but it's just toilet paper, so who cares. So that's my two back panels, and my zipper will go there. And that's going to be joined there on the side seam. So it's time for some gathers. So I'm going to show you on the frill bit, but it's the same on the skirt as well. So on your machine, you're going to set the straight stitch on the longest length as possible. So for me, it's going to be a number 4. So it's like a basting stitch. Stitch. That's a difficult word. So anyway, you're going to sew 2 lines of stitching within the seam allowance of the top part of the frill. Make sure they don't touch each other or cross each other. You're going to back tack at the beginning but not at the end, and you're going to leave enough thread hanging out on the end. So that's how it looks like. And now you're going to choose are the 2 tops or the 2 bottom thread. Don't pull on all the thread because it's not going to work. So either way, top or bottom, doesn't matter. And you're going to pull, and it will gather as you pull. And you're going to gather it until you reach your desired size. So now your frill is done, it's all gathered. What you need to do is check that the length of your frill is matching the width of your skirt, so that everything matches up together. And then you can put them right sides together, pin them, and sew them together. So I went ahead as well and hemmed my frill. I made a big hem on it. I could do with a smaller one, but if you like it like this, it's fine. I also top stitched the seam where the frill is attached to the skirt, and I gathered the top part of the skirt to match the waistband. So now I attach the waistband to the skirt right sides together, and the other side of the waistband would be folded inwards. So because the edge would be visible, I overlocked the edge, but you can zigzag stitch it. So now it's time for you to put the zipper. I'm not going to show you on this video how to install one. I have a video about it, so I'll put a link in the description down below. The only thing is you need to make sure you have a zipper that is long enough, so 8 inches or 20 centimeters at least. And it's up to you if you want to get it to go all the way through the waistband, or if you want to stop at the beginning of it and put a hook and eye to close the waistband. So that's your choice, really. Alright, so once your zipper is installed, we need to finish the waistband. So you're going to make sure you're going to open your zipper. It's going to be easier to work with, and you're going to fold the waistband on itself but right sides together, just like so. Make sure everything matches, and you see the little piece of tape from the zipper hanging out, that should go inside. So just, yeah, don't do as I say, not as I do. And you're going to sew along the edge right by the teeth of the zipper. So that's how it looks like. And now you're going to take a pair of scissors and you're going to clip the corners. Make sure you don't clip your seam line. Then all you need to do is to turn your waistband on the right side and make sure your corners are all well poked out. And as you can see the tape from the zipper hanging out. That should be inside. And here you have it, your waistband is all neat after that. What you're left to do is to top stitch your waistband on the outside, so it will catch the inside bit of your waistband, and you're done. So that's it for the Lolita skirt. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and you can always subscribe to this channel if you want to see more DIY videos, and you can leave me a comment as well. Yeah, I'll be happy to reply if you have any question. So bye!